Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for all of the comments that you guys have been leaving on my videos, the last couple of videos that I've made. Well, all the videos that I make on this channel. Thank you for the comments and all the love. I really appreciate it. The last couple of videos that I've made have been really personal videos. The last one where I talked about what a blackout is and the difference between a blackout and all that kind of stuff. And then the one before that where I was talking about the process of making amends. And I really, really love doing those videos. I really love sharing with you guys experiences that I've had in my life, and in a very pointed way. It feels to me somewhat a little bit like my vlog where I'm just talking about stories of my life. But I love when it's like in a very pointed way towards a specific question or comment that somebody leaves me on my video. So like I said before, please feel free to ask any questions. I like to just go through and pick certain comments out that you guys leave me and address those comments or address those questions. I love doing that. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. And I learn things as well. And one of the things I want to say is I so appreciate so many of you sharing your stories in the comment sections of what you've gone through and your personal experience and things like that. First of all, it really helps me to get to know the people that are watching my videos better, but also you're really helping other people. And in fact, there was a comment on my blackout video that somebody was referring to the term qualifiers, and they were saying all of my qualifiers are blackout drinkers or something to that effect. And I looked and there were like 4 replies underneath there, and I already knew before I got to the replies what the questions were going to be. And I knew that somebody was going to say, what is a qualifier? And I already knew, because in Al-Anon, which is a 12-step program for friends and family members of alcoholics, it's a sister program to Alcoholics Anonymous. Nar-Anon is a sister program to Narcotics Anonymous. Although I will say that, a lot of friends and family members of addicts go to Al-Anon as well. So I already knew what the term qualifier meant, and so this person went in and had no problem explaining like what they meant, and also sharing like who their family members were and the reason why they were in Al-Anon. And I thought, this is so fantastic. Like, you don't really realize that how you're educating people. And if people are reading that comment, like, that might be somebody, because the first thing I always say to friends of mine or family members of mine that come to me and they say, like, I'm really going through it with like a family member or a friend and I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how I can help them. And they're either actively still using, or they're in treatment, or they're trying to get sober. Like, what can I do? The first thing I always say to everybody is find an Al-Anon meeting and start going immediately, and give it at least 6 meetings. Try 6 meetings, because that's what they recommend. And if you don't like it, they will fully refund your misery is what they say, or what we say in 12-step programs. And I'm like, I'll help you find an Al-Anon meeting if because I know where a lot of Al-Anon meetings are, because I have like spouses and family members of friends of mine that go to Al-Anon meetings on the nights that we go to meetings. And so I know where a lot of the meetings are, and I'll like hook them up with people that, like I know that have been going to Al-Anon for a long time. And so you don't know, like, if just leaving a comment, you're planting a seed to help somebody else out. And I think it's so important, and I also want to say, like, for me, I work a 12-step program. That's my experience, strength, and hope, and you guys know that, right? But when I get the comments on my vlog, or on my channel, on my vlog, or on my Peterisms videos, or whatever, or on my Peter Monn channel when I talk about recovery, and people will say, I'm not in a 12-step program, but I've been sober for such and such amount of years, and this is how I do it, and whatever, or, this is important, or, the discussion of maintenance drugs and things like that, and people will say, well, I've been on maintenance drugs for a long time, and they've been really helpful to me. I think those comments are equally as important to show people that there are many different ways to get sober. My story is not the only one. There are many different ways for people to get sober, And the other thing I want people to know is that, like, for me, attending 12-step meetings or trying recovery was not just a one and done, Like, I had gone to several treatment programs. I tried it several times. And so for me, it was like, I always thought that it was a cult. I always thought that 12-step programs were very biblically based and whatever, which is the complete opposite of the truth. And so it really took me a long time to realize that that's not the truth, and that it's a non-denominational program. You can be agnostic and be a member of, a 12-step program. And I really had to realize realize that. I really had to realize that nobody's going to force you to stay there. I mean, if you don't want to come to meetings, nobody's going to force you to come to meetings, you know? And so what I love when people share their stories and they say, well, I got sober this way or I got sober that way, what I think it helps other people realize is there's not just one way to get sober, you know? This is just my way. This is just the way that I do it, and it's just my experience, strength, and hope. So I wanted to share that, and I wanted to say that I really, really appreciate you guys and all the comments that you're leaving. Okay, the comment that I'm going to address today is not about recovery, really. And this person left this message and they said, thank you again for this video. I think this was on my blackout video. This isn't a sober-related video idea, but more on self-worth. And I thought this was such a fantastic question. After my second pregnancy, I have really struggled to lose the weight I gained. I see curvy girls on Instagram who wear what they want and look fabulous. But when it comes to me and my summer confidence, I have zero and always wind up wearing the same thing every day and feel crappy. Do you have any tips, Peter, on growing self-confidence and not worrying about what other people might think? Well, I would love to tell you that I am so filled with self-confidence and self-worth that I don't care what people think and I'm not self-conscious at all, but that is just not the truth. And I think for me to help anybody out there, I have to start with what's the truth of my life. And the truth of my life is that I'm very critical. You know, I've just lost 35 pounds and my doctors are, you know, continuing to say that they want me to lose more weight. I'm fitting into clothes I've never fit in before. I'm getting ready to go on vacation for my birthday. And, you know, I'm looking at clothes and things like that, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go wear clothes I've never worn before on vacation. I'm very excited about that, right? But I'm still heavy. Like, I'm still a lot heavier than I want to be. I'm over 200 pounds, and my doctors want me under 200 pounds. They want me a lot under 200 pounds. They want me at, like, you know, 180, and things like that. Like, as I'm, like, that's like they would really like me to be like 175, 170. And so, you know, it's hard because I look in the mirror and I can put on a t-shirt and you can see me from here up, but, you know, like, you don't see me when I come out of the shower and I'm standing there, you know, completely naked. And I'm not saying this to be, you know, whatever, but, like, let's just be for real. I think we all have those moments when we're standing in the bathroom mirror after we get out of the shower where we're picking apart our bodies, right? And, so, you know, a couple things have really helped me through the years, and I don't know that it's necessarily... I don't know that I can help you feel more confident. I don't know that I can help you not care what people think. I think we're always gonna care, maybe. I think maybe I will always, I can't speak for other people. I think I will always care to some degree what other people think about me. I think one thing is I have to realize I'm really not that important, okay? You know, not everybody in the world is looking at me, and I tend to, when I wear the things that I wanna wear, when I wear shirts that are colorful, or because I used to steer clear of wearing any shirts that have stripes or colors or anything on it because I'd be like, oh my God, it's like, you know, a balloon walking down the street, and I didn't want to bring attention to myself. I tend to, like, when I wear things that speak of my soul, clothes that make me happy, I tend to get more compliments on those clothes. And no matter, like, how they fit, if they fit good or if they don't, you know? And so that's one thing I've really tried to start doing is wearing, not just having lost weight, but before that, is wearing things that make me happy. The other thing, and realizing I'm just not that important, like, not everybody is talking about me, not everybody is looking at me, you know? Like, that's just not the case at all. And that really, and I'm just saying things that help me, okay? I'm not saying that I'm not important in the grand scheme of things or whatever. I'm just saying, like, the reality is when I'm walking down the street, it's not like all eyes are on me, you know? I'm not a celebrity, I'm not that important, and so I need to be comfortable with myself, and I think that's where maybe to me it's not so much about confidence as it is about being comfortable. Several years ago, I was getting ready to go on a trip, and I was talking on my vlog about being heavy. Now, if you've watched my vlog for any period of time, okay, I mean years at this point, if you've watched it for any period of time, you know I've talked about my weight a lot on there. And, you know, I would start, like, let's say every, you know, March the end of March we go to Florida for Ultra Music Festival, and I would start talking in, like, September or October about how I was going to start losing weight. And March would come around, and I would be just as heavy as I had been in September or October. In fact, a lot of people would comment on it, and not in nice ways. And they would say, oh, here he is, talking about how he's going to lose all this weight, and he's still the same weight that he was, and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, nobody can say anything to me that I haven't already said to myself in my own head. Like, I'm my worst critic when it comes to my weight and things like that. But somebody left me a comment. I have no idea who it was. I'm so thankful and so grateful for this comment to this day. And they said, Peter, not that many people, I don't really even remember how they said the comment, but they said something to the effect of, not that many people are really watching you. Because I was like, I'm not going to take my shirt off on the beach. I'm not going to take my shirt off on the pool, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was like super hypersensitive about it, right? And this person left this comment, and they said, on my vlog, and it was such a nice comment, and they said, Peter, nobody's really watching you that much anyway. Take your shirt off. Enjoy your time in the water. Enjoy your time laying out in the sun. Have a good time. Don't worry about it, okay? It's just not that big of a deal. And I don't know why, but it was kind of like this training mantra for me. And I remember going on that trip, and that first day, I was like so scared to take off my shirt because I was like, God, everybody's gonna be looking at me, and they're all gonna be like, blah, blah, blah. And I remember looking around and thinking to myself, not everybody out here is an Instagram couture model, you know? Not everybody out here looks a whole lot different than I do. In fact, a lot of people out here look very similar to me. And I took my shirt off, and I remember like laying out in the sun and going in the ocean and going in the pool and whatever, and just having a great time. And I felt so liberated. And so it was really about the comfort factor to me, you know? And then I had a better time, and therefore my husband and I had a better time together, because what I was really doing was allowing my lack of self-worth and my lack of confidence to affect our overall time together, our overall, you know, enjoyment. The other thing I will tell you is this, and this is a little bit different than what you're saying, because you're saying that you're looking at people on Instagram that are similar to you and that they wear clothes and they don't really care. Maybe try that out and see it. Maybe reach out to one of them and say, hey, like, I really respect and admire you. You know, I'm a big believer in reaching out to our mentors. And to some degree, maybe they are mentors to you, and saying, hey, like, I really respect you. Like, you know, I'm similar in size to you, and you seem to wear whatever you want to wear, and, like, you seem to really just not have an issue with it at all, and I'm so, like, in my head about it or whatever. Like, can you give me any tips? I'm sure somebody would respond to you, you know? One of the things that I stopped doing was, I followed all of these very bearded, very, you know, muscular men for years. And I don't remember when this was. It was sometime last year, but like I literally went through and I just like unfollowed all of them off of Instagram. I mean, I might follow like 2 still or something like that, but like I unfollowed like all of them. And if I follow those 2, it's because they have interesting lives in their Instagram stories. That's it. I don't follow them because they're like good looking guys or anything. I stopped all that, because it wasn't making me feel good about myself. And I also realized that with the era of filters and all this kind of stuff, it's this unrealistic, you know, world that we're trying to live up to. And I started following like what makes me happy, which is like senior dogs and senior dog rescues. I even stopped following like a lot of YouTubers at the time, which I followed a lot, you know, for like doing like drama on my drama channel and stuff like that. And I was like, this doesn't bring me happiness. In fact, it kind of makes me really unhappy when I read a lot of this kind of stuff. I started following a lot of like Christmas accounts, Halloween accounts. You guys, if you watch my, if you follow my Instagram, you know, like I retweet a lot of these pictures of like animals that have little houses and trees and underground. I love all that, like the illustrations. And so I started following a lot of things that made me happy, a lot of inspirational quotes that I see like come up on my Instagram every day. So when I go through my Instagram feed, it's no longer one muscular guy after another with a beard, you know, on the beach. And I'm thinking to myself, why don't I look like that? You know, how does he do it and I don't? Which is that he spends, you know, 3 hours a day in the gym 7 days a week, and I choose not to do that, right? Like that's literally it. Like if I wanted to look like that, I could maybe, I don't know at this point if I could or not. I don't really care in all honesty, you know, but I will say, like, I don't care if I look like that, but I do care that I'm thinner and healthier, and that it makes me happy that I fit into clothes I haven't fit in a long time. That does make me happy, you know. So I had to kind of remove this point of reference that for me mostly wasn't real and was making me unhappy. Like I had to do that as well. But I think the bottom line for me is it's always comfort over confidence for me. That I always have to make sure that I am really, really comfortable in what I'm wearing and whatever. And now that I've like lost a little bit of weight, which is so funny because what I realize is I could have been wearing the same clothes, like, because now I'm starting to be able to fit into clothes that I haven't fit in 10 years, right? But it's not like those t-shirts that I'm wearing didn't come in 2XLs. It's not like the cute jeans that I'm wearing or the cute khakis that I'm wearing or the shorts that I'm wearing didn't come in bigger sizes. I could have worn that same stuff. I just chose not to. I chose to every day put on the same thing, okay? Which was was a pair of sweat shorts and a black t-shirt, which I'm wearing today, or, you know, and what's so funny about this is that this is like an XL, and it's like super, super baggy on me, and like my 2XLs, like none of those t-shirts fit anymore on me. But like I would every day, it was just kind of like this costume to just hide, you know? And what I realized was I missed out on years and years and years of wearing really fun clothes. And I know a lot of people that are heavier or have whatever their body issues are. Maybe it's not just that they're heavier, maybe it's that they're really tall, or maybe it's that they're, you know, shorter or whatever their body issues are, whatever they're critical about, that they still dress really, really fun, and they have great style, and they really are confident in what they do. Like I said, I don't know that I'll ever step out and be like, I got it, I'm it, you know? I've never been like that. I mean, maybe in my 20s when I was like, you know, rolling into a bar, and I don't know, like I thought, you know, my crap didn't stink kind of thing, but I think that partly goes with youth too. I think when you get older, you start comparing yourself to a lot of people. Listen, I'm gonna be 51. I'm not getting any younger, you know? And I'm not gonna beat myself up because I don't look like how I did when I was 20. You've had a child, okay? That's amazing, you know? You're a mother. You're never gonna look the same way that you did before you did that, you know? And I think that's one of the things I hear my friends say a lot, is that like, God, I don't look, you know, the same way as I did before, but then they'll say, but then she did this, and I'm like, okay, but like, she literally was on a treadmill, you know, every single day of her pregnancy and every day after, beating herself up because she wanted to look a certain way, or she had plastic surgery, or she did this and whatever, which those are all choices that we could do, right? But most of us don't, And I think really it's about loving yourself, and loving yourself enough to allow yourself to be comfortable in what makes you comfortable. And if that's the same thing every single day, do that. But if it's not making you happy, just a little bit each day, try something different. A little bit each day, try something, you know, that's going to make you happier. For me, it's comfort, you know, it really, really is. You know, my hat has nothing to do with my weight. My hat has to do, and it has nothing to do with my hair. I love my hair. I don't want to do my hair every single day, but I love my hair. But you know, wearing a hat every single day doesn't have anything to do with, hey!
Just wanted to say hi.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
I could see him standing out there, and he was like, could you see me like kind of looking at that? I was like, I'm almost done with this video. So finally he was just like, I had to stop. So anyway, I love my neighbor so much, but my hat has nothing to do with my hair, you know. I have no issues with my hair. I just don't want to do my hair. It's total laziness, you know. When I go on a date with my husband, when I go to marriage counseling, because I like to look nice for marriage counseling, when I go to my meetings, well, sometimes when I go to my meetings, sometimes I wear a hat. I have been wearing a hat recently to meetings, you know, but like when I go out to dinner with friends or whatever, you know, I typically like do my hair and whatever, and I like my hair. I have nice hair, you know, but it's laziness for me. I think that's part of the thing, is getting out of that lazy, you know, regimen and challenging yourself to put on something that makes you feel cute every single day, you know. And I think that's part of it, you know. I can remember when I was growing up as a kid, and I've shared the story in my vlog, my mom, like, my mom was a sleeper in kind of person, but like, she would get up, I can remember like in the summer, this is a good example, she had like steam rollers, you guys remember those, where you put the water in it, and then they would like steam up. And I would come into her bathroom and I'd say, what are you doing? And she would have like the steam rollers in her hair and whatever. My mom never was somebody that wore a lot of makeup. She wore like eyeliner and lipstick, and that was it. She'd sometimes put lipstick on her and say it was rouge on her cheeks. But anyway, she would say, well, I want to like go get dressed, go get ready, you know, for the day, take a shower, go get dressed and go get ready, because that way if somebody asks us to do something, or if there's something that we want to go do, we're ready for the day to go do it. And I've always like remembered that. It's not something that I do every single day, trust, okay? You can see, like, I literally just threw on a t-shirt and a hat and started filming videos today. But I do notice a difference when I get up and I take a shower and I put on something cute that makes me feel good about myself, and I specifically pick out a certain like t-shirt or shirt to wear for videos or whatever. Like, I feel better about myself. And it also has to be something that's comfortable. And so I think that all goes into that, you know, in that overall feeling of loving ourselves enough to make sure that we're comfortable in what we're wearing, taking care of ourselves, not being lazy, and making sure that we love ourselves enough, you know? And I think that ultimately, I think loving ourselves enough trumps being confident, you know? I love, love, love when I see an ultra confident person. You know, when they walk into a room and they own the room and they're like, oh my God, like, and they just walk into a room and like they own it, you know? Like, I love when I meet somebody like that. I have long since realized I'm never going to be that person. I'm just not, you know. I still struggle with a lot of social anxiety. My old sponsor said to me, you know, when you walk into a room, because I would look down at the ground, he said, you hold your head up high because you're a person of character today. I still struggle with that. I still, you know, like, I don't, like, I walk into a room and I kind of like go to the corner and whatever. I'm never going to be this super confident, you know, person. And I'm totally fine with that, you know, because I do think that there's a fine line between confidence and cockiness. The confidence that I respect, the confidence that I am attracted to, that I like when I see it in other people, is when they're just very sure of themselves and they know themselves. I don't know that I'm that sure of myself, you know? I think I'm going to be discovering myself for the rest of my life, maybe. I don't know. Do I ever think that I'll walk into a room and I'll just own it? No, I don't think that's me. I don't think that that will ever be me. You know, does that mean that I have no self-worth? No, I love myself a lot. I'm very proud of myself. I've gone through a lot of crap in my life and I've made it out on the other side. I'm resilient. I'm a strong person. I'm a good person. I'm loyal to my friends, you know. I'm a good husband. I'm a good son. Like I said, I'm a good neighbor, I'm a good friend, and those are things that I know to be true about myself. And I have a whole hell of a lot of fun in life too, you know? So there are more things that I'm worried about than whether or not I walk into a room and I'm super confident in an outfit that I wear. I will say this one last thing about outfits, okay, since we're talking about kind of superficial things. Well, I don't know that I think that clothes are superficial. I think that they're really speak of who you are as a person. But back in the day, and this was very evident when I went to this fundraiser this year called Rev that we go to sometimes. I think this was my second time. This was my husband's like fourth time. But back in the day, like, I always would like throw out a suit, and I'm always like, I have to wear like what looks right and whatever, and I'd be so uncomfortable in a suit. And I look nice in a suit, but I would be like so uncomfortable in a suit, and I'd be like, God, I wish I hadn't worn this. And then I would see somebody, and I just talked about this not too long ago, you know, that would like a woman that had on like black jeans and like cute shoes and like a jacket, and you know, she just looked like she wore exactly what she wanted to wear that was comfortable for her, that was kind of like, you know, good style too. And so before we were going to this fundraiser, I called my friend Melissa, because she and her husband were going, we were meeting them there. And I said, are you guys like super dressed up? And she was like, no. She was like, I literally have on like a jersey skirt, a tank top, and she was like, and a jacket. And Jason has on a t-shirt, jeans, and a leather jacket. And I said, okay, great. And so like at the last minute, I had all these suits laid out. And I was like, I'm not doing this. And I wore a pair of black jeans, my Doc Marten platform boots, and I wore this white Western shirt that I didn't even know fit me, with the pearl buttons. And I felt so great that night because I was so comfortable, and it was something that I just loved to wear, that was so stylistically who I was as a person, and I was so happy in that, you know. And as a result, my husband was like, well, if you're not going to wear a suit, I'm not going to wear a suit. And so he wore something that he really wanted to wear, and we just had such a great night. And I don't think that I would have had as much fun had I ended up going in a suit, you know. Yes, a suit would be nice, and I dress appropriately when the time and place, but I think it's also mostly about, you know, being comfortable and singing the song of your soul too when it comes to your style, you know, and really just discovering what your style is. And you're never too old to figure out what your style is. You know, the older I get, the more I love color, you know, and wearing bright stuff and whatever, like, you know. So I think that's one of the directions that I'll probably go into more the older that I get. I don't know. So anyway, I think it's all about that. And I think self-worth is less about confidence than it is about loving yourself, you know, and really loving yourself enough to allow yourself to be comfortable in any situation, and realizing that they're just clothes, you know. Love yourself enough to enjoy the moment and not be so concerned with how you look or how you come across. And I love you guys, and I hope that helps, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.